Okay, very warm welcome to the Live Streamers Association live stream of today. I think this is the 4th. It must be because it's the 4th of August, so it's the 4th live stream. Better late than never, and we'll get started in a minute. It's going to be a shorter one tonight. And I said that last time, and it wasn't, but it will be this tonight because I've only just finished working. Hopefully a few people will arrive and watch what we're talking about, and I'll talk to you in a sec.
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. Let me show you what a good time looks like. To be silly, baby, dance the night away. I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, you don't have to hide it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, don't hide it. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit in.
Hello, so my name is Phil Croshaw, and a very warm welcome to this episode, number 4 of Live Streamers Association, 31 days of live in August. I ran a webinar today, and which seemed to go down pretty well. And I thought I'd just share a few answers to questions that I was asked on the webinar. The webinar was called The Digital Media Revolution. And people that were on the call were people who were starting businesses or small businesses that were looking to grow and develop their businesses. And they were particularly interested in digital media, how they could use it more, podcasting, video. And of course, they introduced the whole idea of live streaming, which for people who hadn't even weren't even confident to do any kind of video was a bit of a step too far. But you know, that was me once upon a time, and I know many people that have been in that situation. Okay, so it's a bit later tonight, as I mentioned, because I've been doing some filming for a client tonight, which was really good. So it's a little bit later, and I noticed actually it's getting darker all the time now. I think we're heading towards those darker nights, people. That's the bad news. Okay, so the questions that I was asked was, one of the first ones I was asked was, how long should a video be, or how long should a video last on YouTube? And the simple answer is it very much depends on a number of different factors. So vlogs, for example, which I'll talk about. I had a question about vlogs, actually. So vlogs, or video logs, as they're known, they tend to be longer because they tend to have more of an entertainment value. So if you're doing a vlog and you're, in some cases, like Casey Neistat, who's a big vlogger, or he was, he's not doing so many now, but he's got 10 million followers. And he used to be skateboarding around New York, talking about all sorts of different things. To be quite honest, it looked great, absolutely fantastic fun. Don't think you get away with it in Manchester, that's for certain, and probably not many other places in the UK. But his lasted something in the region of 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And I know there are others. And because they were entertaining and there was lots going on, people were okay with watching that sort of length. Also, if you're doing some kind of educational thing where the audience that you're talking to on your live stream are very interested in what you're talking about, then that makes a difference too. So, for example, through Geeky Media, I'm very interested in cameras and live streaming and microphones. I know it sounds crazy, but you kind of some people have a bit of a love affair with microphones, and I'm one of them. I don't know where it comes from, and I probably need some serious help, I'd imagine. I think I quite possibly need some psychological help. So I'm just having a look at this actually, because I've got a comment from a good friend of mine, Spencer. Hi, Spencer. Watching you with the sound off, old boy, is like what we wanted to do in me, all these meetings over the years. Love you. You know what? I'm going to put that up there because I want you to see that somebody loves me. So thanks, Spencer. Thanks, Spencer. I'm not quite sure what value there is in watching me with the sound off. Yeah, actually, it's true this, because Spencer and I were good pals, and we've known each other quite some years, and we worked together actually in a company, an American company, and we used to have some interesting debates and conversations when we were working together, I have to say, but that's for another time. But thanks, Spencer, for that, and I love you too, mate. So lengthwise it depends. So anything from I'm going to be doing something in the next couple of weeks, which is called Gimme 5, which is 5 minutes of video, 5 minutes of a production. Other people, as I say, do them longer. It depends. But usually the truth is that our attention span now is significantly less than it was probably even 3 or 4 years ago. Attention span of a goldfish and all that kind of thing. So you have to take that into consideration, but it does depend on what you're talking about. So, sorry, I was saying a minute ago about, because I'm interested in cameras, I'll watch videos about new cameras. So this one I bought recently, which is called a Sony ZV-1, for those of you that are interested. This is a new vlogging camera, and it's a cracking bit of kit, actually. And it's probably got more power in it than my Canon 80D, which is twice as big, which is what I'm filming this on. But because I'm really interested in this camera, and I'm interested in cameras in general, I watched videos for 20, 25 minutes all about this camera. And I actually watched a number of them before I bought it. And then I watched loads more after I bought it because I wanted to know how to use it. But what was interesting about it was I kind of found myself watching the videos in order to learn how to use it. And I got a manual like most people do with things that they buy. And I've not opened it. I've not touched it. Just not absolutely gone near it, because nowadays, I don't know if anybody else is the same, but nowadays I just tend to watch videos to learn how to use things. I find it much easier. I find it much more interesting. And I'm probably, the truth is, I'm probably actually losing the ability to read, which is a bit scary, isn't it? So that was one question. How long should the videos be? And I would say just go with what you feel comfortable with, and practice and maybe get some feedback. Maybe ask your people that follow you, or people that watch what you do, and just get their general feeling on it. So it does vary a lot. There's no hard and fast rule, I suppose, is what I'm actually trying to say to you. So next one. God, my eyes are getting worse all the time. But I can recommend Pound Stretcher or somewhere, £2, which is absolutely brilliant, because the first ones I bought about a few years ago now, about £300, sat on them, broke them, absolute nightmare. But these were £2, and I've got numerous pairs of them. Me and my wife fight over them in the house because she's blind as a bat, become blind as a bat, long-sighted as it's known as well. But we have them littered all over the house when we can find them. Right, so completely digress, and it's late, and I know you don't want to be listening to me at this time of night. So should I use captions? Yes, that was another question I got on the webinar I did today. Should I use captions on my videos? Yes, probably where you can, because as you probably know, because you'll do this yourself, there's a tendency now to watch videos with the sound off, as Spencer just said then a minute ago, and So therefore, when you're on the bus, or when you used to be on the bus, but when you're somewhere in public, when you used to be somewhere in public, you obviously it's easier to just read what the captions are saying. I personally don't tend to have the captions switched on YouTube, because on YouTube the captions are automatic. You can have them switched on or off, but I don't. They distract me. But this is just me. I find I prefer, might be because I'm old, but they distract me, and I prefer it with the captions off. But I know a lot of people do like captions. Captions are, I say, easier on YouTube, but it's more complicated to do them if you're not using something like YouTube, where it does it automatically. Without getting heavy on the tech, there's a file that you need really to be able to do captions, which is called a .srt file. You might want to look it up, .srt file. And you can do it, but it's more complicated and more of it adds another level of process into what can already be a bit of a challenging process with editing videos and sorting sound out and everything else. So being lazy, I probably don't do them as much as I should, because I just prefer to do the content and get it out there and then move on to the next thing. But that's just because that's me, and I'm just like that. So should you use captions? Yes, if you can be bothered. I think that's the best way to describe it. Yes, if you can be bothered. Yeah, another question I was asked just today on this webinar was Vimeo versus YouTube. For those of you that don't know, Vimeo is a video platform which allows you to host and display videos. But the difference is with Vimeo is you have to pay for it, and you have to pay an annual fee for it. You can actually get a free account, but it's a bit limited, a bit basic. The difference is, though, that with YouTube, obviously you get all sorts of advertising on it. So you'll get advertising, you get, as you know, in the middle of something that you're watching, an ad comes up from nowhere. And it might be that the ad is of not really much interest to you, which can be a bit irritating. The other thing, of course, with YouTube is it will then give you 400 million other videos to watch, which is maybe not what you want your viewers to do. You might want them to watch another of your videos. And it will just randomly give you all sorts of different videos. So you'll know yourselves that it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole, isn't it? Go down the rabbit hole of YouTube and come out about an hour later and feel that time has just completely stopped. So I always use Vimeo personally a lot of the time, because it's not got that. It's more professional, and it doesn't have all those ads and all those extra bits and bats on it. I pay for it, but I think it looks more professional. Particularly if I show videos on my website, I can embed them from Vimeo, and it doesn't have all the YouTube stuff over it, which can look a little bit unprofessional. But that's just, again, my opinion. YouTube's fantastic if you're just starting out and you want to get used to it and get followings all around the world. So horses for courses and stuff, but I tend to use Vimeo a bit more, albeit I am live streaming this to my YouTube channel as well, my new YouTube channel. And then the last one, actually, funnily enough, I was talking about this a minute ago, but is vlogging worth it today? I think it depends. Again, I think it depends a lot on why you're doing it. If you're wanting to, if you're vlogging and you want to get 1 million followers, that's going to be tricky, because it's very noisy, and there's a lot of people who've been doing it for a long time, and there's a lot of people become extremely good at it. Obviously, you probably have heard the idea about influencers and how people are earning millions of pounds doing influencing videos and vlogging. And it's true, they do. It's not as lucrative as it was, but there are some people who can do it, particularly people who are quite charismatic or, good looking. So you can imagine I make a fortune out of YouTube views as an influencer, being so good looking and so charismatic. All right, I know. We can dream. But in the next life, I'm going to be George Clooney lookalike next life, and then I'll have the last life, won't I? The reason I would say vlogging is worth it is because when you do a vlog, it forces you into thinking and developing and planning and organizing it, which I think are skills that are particularly useful in life in general, but also particularly in work. You know, that whole idea of organizing your content, planning your content, I think it's useful. I think it's good for developing your confidence. And if you're recording a vlog and it's not live, so obviously I'm live now, and that means there's a huge another level of jeopardy when you're doing live, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen at any time, as I've said a few times before. But with vlogging, you can obviously record it, but you can edit it, or you can record and re-record and re-record and re-record. So on a personal level, I'm doing a coronavirus vlog at the moment, and I'm doing that coronavirus vlog specifically for my own benefit. I'll probably put it out on YouTube or on Vimeo at some point, but I just want a diary of this experience. And I was watching a few clips back the other day of the coronavirus vlog I've been recording, not every day, but every other day, every couple of days. And it's just interesting to see back what I was saying back in March. And it's amazing how things have changed and shifted around. And one of the things that really was amazing to watch was my mum, who's in her mid-80s. She was ill. She got ill one day at the start of the virus, and I was absolutely convinced she had coronavirus. And she was actually just sick. But I was convinced that she had coronavirus, and I shared that on the vlog. And now I can look back and I mentioned the next day that she was all clear and she was fine. But it was a scary moment. I have to say, it was a scary moment with her being the age that she is. So they can be great fun. Oh yes, I've got to put this one up, haven't I? I've got to put this one up from Helen Scrimshire. I think you were Helen Foster, weren't you, Helen, at school? I think. If I've insulted you or upset you, I do apologize for that. But obviously, I pay her well. Checks in the post, Helen, because I was obviously cute as a little boy, and I actually had hair, which is probably why she thinks I was cute. She is actually going to Specsavers tomorrow. I'm pretty sure of that. And I noticed that she says I was cute as a little boy, which means I'm not now. So it's a kind of a double whammy, that one, isn't it, really? So thanks for that, Helen. And I appreciate you watching tonight. It's late at night and watching me, obviously, waffling on. So I think that'll do for now. I think we've kind of covered the key areas. We've got lots of guests now lined up. Oh gosh, there's all sorts of different topics, and I've only got a couple of slots left, actually, and I'll be doing various guest interviews on here on the live stream. I am planning on doing it at 10:30 a.m. Most mornings, where at all possible. And of course, with work commitments and issues, it's not always possible, but that is my plan. But I'm 4 days in, and I've managed to do a live stream every day so far. It's only 4 days. I know it's not time to get the shop, pop the champagne corks, but anyway, 4 days in, and I've managed to do one every day so far, and I'm determined to do one every day. I nearly did an extra one actually yesterday, because I was watching the Formula One Grand Prix. Some of you may watch that. But that was amazing, and it was so entertaining, and seeing Lewis Hamilton win in the way he did was absolutely fantastic. You know, the patriot in me loves that sort of thing, and it was quite exciting and really fun to watch. So I nearly did another one, but I thought in 4 days of seeing me rambling on is way enough on that. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits, because I've got some cheese and biscuits ready for me soon, and I love cheese and biscuits, and I'm going to have some cheese and biscuits and a milky coffee. You didn't need to know that, really, did you? A milky coffee. It's not that big a deal, but I like my milky coffee. It reminds me, I used to have Horlicks when I was a kid. Who remembers Horlicks? I think they're still going actually, but I used to love that stuff. And then actually, when there was nothing in the cupboard sweet, I'd even eat it. I'd even spoon it out of the jar and eat it raw, as it were. Yeah, okay. I know I need help. I definitely do need help. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, and thanks for watching this. If you watched it live, great. If you watch it just on catch up, as it were, if you want to, if you've seen it, just because you weren't around or you couldn't be bothered watching it, then you might be able to be watching this not live, because it obviously, as you probably know, Facebook and YouTube make these available to watch on as recorded videos when the live stream's over, so people can come across your content on various different levels at various different times. So don't be disappointed if people are not watching it live, because it takes a long time to build up that audience, and the vast majority of us don't end up with millions of people following them, and I'm no different in that. I just enjoy doing it. I just enjoy doing it and sharing some insight, sharing some information, sharing some perspectives, sharing some thoughts, and I just enjoy doing it. So that's why I do it. Right, that is it. It's 21:01, just to show it's live on the 4th of August 2020. And I'll be back tomorrow with a new live stream. I'm going to aim to do it at 10:30 a.m. To see if I can get that routine going, rather than it just being higgledy-piggledy all over the place. So thanks for watching. If you watched, I really appreciate it. If you want to be a guest on one of my shows, there's still a few slots left. Please do send me a message. LinkedIn, Philip Croshaw, or on Facebook, obviously, or on Instagram, or wherever. With a name like mine, it's reasonably unusual, Croshaw. So you will be able to find me. And if you can't find me, then you really don't want to find me, because it's not difficult. And then if you want to be a guest, and then I'll speak to you about it, and then we can have a chat about coronavirus. We can have a chat about work. We can have a chat about anything you want to talk about. You can obviously join me. It'd be great to have a chat with a few people. So I've got a few slots left. That is really it now. I am going now. So thanks very much indeed. I really appreciate your attention and a bit of engagement. And I will catch you very soon tomorrow morning if you're around. If not, maybe later in the week. Peace.